Hey everyone, how's it going? So today I'm going to take you through my fall garden. I'm going to show you some of the things that I've planted. I'm also going to be cleaning up some of my garden beds and getting them ready for winter. And make sure you stick around to the end because I have some big news that I'd like to share with you about our plans for the next garden season. Okay, I do have to apologize because I have a new mic and I had some technical difficulties, so I did lose a lot of footage. But I can redo a little bit of it and kind of let you know what I have planted for my fall garden. So in these two beds, I have planted garlic, and I've also planted some lettuce here and some spinach and carrots in this section over here. So one thing that you need to realize with garlic is it is a heavy feeder, and it's going to be in the ground from early fall until spring. So it overwinters. So during that winter stage, it has to have enough nutrients in your soil to feed it all winter long. So I will come through here and I'll top dress all of this with a high quality compost. I do that with all of my beds in the fall time and get them ready for the spring. In our area, we should be getting a frost here. We actually got a frost over the weekend. So a lot of my plants, like my tomato plants and my pepper plants, some of my green beans, I have been trying to protect them from frost. Now, you can use old bed sheets or anything really to keep the frost from settling on your plants. What I use is I put in these wires over my beds, and you can get a roll of this wire. I think it's called 9-gauge wire at any of your local farm stores, and it comes in a roll. And then I just cut it to the size that I want. I think that was close to, like, I don't know, a 5-foot long section or something like that, just enough so it can arch over your plants. And then I have purchased a row cover through Amazon. And it's kind of a felt material. It comes in a real long roll. You can cut it to the size that you choose. I will try to link it below, the one that I personally use, and just know it is different than shade cloth. This here will keep in the heat, but it's really not necessarily going to block a lot of the shade or the moisture. So your shade cloth is not going to really keep in the heat, but it's going to shade it. So there are a difference in the different kind of cloths that you do buy. So this here has worked really well. I use it to extend my season in the fall, and I also use it in the springtime when I want to get out here and plant, but it's still a little bit too cold. So I'm able to extend it, my seasons and my growing, with this fabric. So I do intend to still cover a few of my tomato plants. I have ripped out all of my tomato plants that are on my cattle panels and all of the rest of my pepper plants except for these 3 here in this bed. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get a few more peppers out of them. So it's kind of a bittersweet moment for me because now that the garden is empty, I know what is coming, which is winter. And I know that it's a good time and a bad time because I can't have my garden, but it is a good time for me to rest. So. Okay, so are you ready to see what our next year's plan for the garden is? Here it is. So I was able to purchase these 5 garden beds from our local farm store, and they were almost half off the price. They were right around $20 for each bed. I couldn't have purchased the lumber and had my husband make them for this price. So we are going to extend yet again the garden. Eventually my goal is to have the entire yard a garden. So I have to figure out now just where I want them to be. So we first of all was going to put them at the west side of the garden. However, over here we have a real deep hole which we would have to fill in with a lot of dirt. So we've decided not to put them on this side, but possibly down the north side of the garden. So I have to keep in mind there is a huge tree just to the north side of the garden, so some of it may be a little shaded. I haven't really decided, and the 5 garden boxes spread out would probably be too far away from each other. So if you have any ideas of how I can arrange these in this garden, give me your input. I do intend to fill the garden boxes with more strawberries because my family loves all sorts of berries. So we have already went through all of the strawberries that we grew, and we have a ton of strawberries grown on our property. So I'm going to dedicate 3 beds to just strawberries. One of the beds I'm going to grow some blueberries in, and possibly some gooseberries because my oldest daughter loves gooseberries. So on each side of this trellis I thought about putting in red currant. So I think they're more of a bush variety and they get pretty big, so I figured it would fill in this space nicely. So that is the big plans. We're going to expand the garden even more. So make sure you stay tuned for the next video because we are going to be filling our beds and figuring out a place to put those garden boxes. I hope you enjoyed this video of our fall cleanup and getting our garden ready for the winter. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so that way you won't miss any of our garden videos. So I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.